This is a new decade, the year 2020, and with that comes another census that will impact us and affect us for the next 10 years to come. Let's take a closer look at what the census is, what it means for us here in the Central Valley, and what we can do to impact it.
Simply put, the census is a head count of every person living in the United States. To be sure the government represents the people, the U.S. Constitution requires a population count every 10 years. Ever since 1790, the census has determined the number of seats each state receives in the U.S. House of Representatives. It is, and always has been, a cornerstone of our democracy. We still use it to determine representation, but leaders also use the data to make decisions. Your response helps guide planning for the future of our communities. The 2020 census will help inform decisions on how billions of dollars are allocated annually for critical public services like roads, schools, hospitals and healthcare clinics, fire and emergency response services, and hundreds of other programs. In 2020, for the first time, you'll be able to complete the census online, by phone, or by mail. It asks a few simple questions, like how many people live in your home on April 1st, including their age and sex, and if there are any children living there. You should know that by law, all census responses are completely confidential, and your personal information cannot be shared with any law enforcement agencies. Every person counts, no matter who you are or where you live. So whether your family has participated for decades or the 2020 census will be your first, we all have a role in shaping the future of our country.
Now that we have a better understanding of what the census is, let's take a closer look at how it will impact us here in the Central Valley.
What the census comes down to is really about representation. Based on the population size of each state, it will determine the amount of representatives that each state gets in the House of Representatives. Based on the results of the 2010 election, California got 53 representatives in the House of Representatives. However, because the projections for the year 2020 are expected to be much lower, California may lose a seat in the House of Representatives. And what that really translates into is money. The amount of money that each state receives, which is then allocated towards counties, is really determined in the federal budget based on the census that is taken every 10 years. Based on the population size in each region, county, city, state, money is allocated that goes towards things like hospitals, schools, construction projects, school improvements, community colleges, programs for students, financial aid. Cities that participate get the attention that their populations require. Those who do not suffer the consequences of public safety failures, lack of funding that does not go to meet the needs of their populations. What does your participation in the census really mean? It means our community has a chance to have funding for parks, better environment for our children, better streets, better roadways, better infrastructure, better freeways. And ultimately, better cities, better counties, better environments to raise our children in and to enjoy our lives in. The future of our communities depends on us and our participation. Stand up, 209. Stand up and be counted. Go to my2020census.gov.